Great to be here. Very happy to be in Cyprus again and again, and I hope to be there again and again, many other times. So I'm here to tell you a story. I'm the energy guy, okay? So, and I would like to present you some innovations that will change many things in the energy market for the next couple of years, So actually this is Peter and Debbie. It's a couple, and they both are prosumers. What is a prosumer? A prosumer, it is a consumer, so actually a guy that consumes energy, but at the same time, he produces energy as well. It is a model that right now exists due to solar industry and due to the renewables, because as you know, if you have a solar panel on the top of on the roof of your house, you can generate energy, and this energy right now, you sell it to the grid, you sell it actually to the market. Whereas some new technological advancements, they have arisen, such as storage, so you can actually store the energy that you are producing instead of selling it to the market. And then after that, you can do many things. And I will present you right now many disruptive business models that will be on the top of this basic notion, the notion of prosumer. So actually, these guys are in a house that they have. This house has specific capabilities. First of all, you see there is a photovoltaic panel on the rooftop. This photovoltaic panel produces energy, and this energy is stored on this specific energy storage system, which is a battery, like Elon Musk batteries or many other vendors that will enter into the game. Already Mercedes and many others will start creating batteries. Now, the energy stored here, either it is sold to the grid, so actually you sell energy to AIK, okay? Or at the same time, this specific energy can actually power your home appliances, including your car, which it happens to be an electrical vehicle. So you see that you have the power to harness energy, okay, from the sun. Energy harvesting, it is a huge, right now, research trend, because you can actually generate energy from the sun. However, you can generate energy from many other components and many other ways. There are specific plastic tiles where by having some piezoelectric material, you can walk on the plastic tile, and this movement, okay, and this material, if it is shrinked, it produces power. So energy harvesting, it is a big advancement technology right now. However, solar, right now, it's #1 source of energy that we can use in our houses. So imagine that every day this photovoltaic panel generates energy. This energy is stored. Half of it or portion of it goes into the grid. However, you have the ability to power up your individual home appliances, and there is you have to have intelligence to do that, because at the same time that the sun produces energy and at the same time that the battery is loading, you have to be sure that before using any home appliance, a smart system may decide whether this home appliance could be the kitchen, could be the laundry, could be the telephone, the TV set. A smart system decides whether it will take energy from the battery, or it will take energy from the grid, or it will take energy from your electric vehicle, which is parked right outside your house, and it's plugged to your home energy charger. So you see that as we are dipping into the prosumer model, complexity increases. But this is good. So Peter every day takes his car, unplugs his car from the home plug. The car is charged during the night, and it is charged by the battery. And the battery, because the battery was been charging the whole day from the sun. However, if you have used some home appliances and the battery has not load, then the car may be charged by the grid on, of course, a discounted price that your utility may give you. So every day, plugs his car, unplugs his car, and goes to work. His work, okay, and actually this is a mobile battery, because the cars are mobile batteries, and the electrical vehicles, they will insert volatility and mobility into the grid, which is good, but of course, it increases the complexity once more. Imagine now that when you go to your company, and I'm just now starting to building up some disruptive business models on the top of the energy sector, your company has made you a contract, and in this contract, apart from the bonuses and the benefits, you have specific incentives for your car. And actually, your company owns a parking lot like that. So, if I am your company or if I am your boss, I would like my employees to use electrical vehicles, and every morning when you go to work, you will plug in your electrical vehicle to my parking chargers. Why? Because instead of getting power from the grid, from my I will get your power on a discounted rate. So, as a firm, I will have a reduced OPEX. In order to do that, I have to give incentives to my employees, either to buy EVs, electric vehicles, or I can have a leasing contract that I will give you an electric vehicle. So in your contract, in your working contract, I will have inside specific incentives and bonuses so that every day, as David, every day you will take your car and you will park it in my parking slot. So you see that as I'm building up business models, everything is connected and everything is relevant. So this actually model will start balancing energy demand and supply with electric cars. Because if my company has huge demand during the day, which is of course rational because all the firms, their peak demand is in between morning and the afternoon where everybody goes to their houses, I need to buy cheap energy. So there are three ways to buy cheap energy. The first one is to have solar panel on the rooftops, so that I generate and use at that specific time the generate energy from the sun. The second is to have huge batteries for my company, but this costs a lot right now. And the third idea and the third solution is to have my employees using their electric vehicles and coming every day to my work, plug them in, so discharge them in my company. And how do I incentivize them? By, of course, giving them incentives inside the working contract. So actually, it's like using your electric car to make money. Because not only you're making money by working in a specific company, but you are making money by offering your charged power and by selecting specific time slots to discharge that power to third-party companies or to third-party clients. So actually, in other words, the prosumer, so the one that produces and consumes energy at the same time, can make money on their own. So this is the big model. So you get bonuses based on your energy and driving profiles, okay? So the firms will adapt their contracts, including energy incentives. So apart from the benefits, apart from the health benefits, okay, apart from all the perks that you're getting by, go and apply for a new job, you may have additional incentives to go and hire or lend or actually get an EV electrical from your company and commit your energy every morning to them. And of course, yeah. So another big notion of the future of the energy, it is what we call Uberization of the energy transactions. This is the sharing economy, guys. So as Uber did it, as Airbnb did it, the same will occur on the energy domain. Recently, there are startups that launch in London, such as Open Utility, that they give you the possibility, your stored power, remember the battery that you have in your house, to give it or to sell it to your neighbors. You will ask me how this is possible. Is there a wire connecting these two houses? Not right now. Everything is virtually on the financial level. Okay? But in the near future, you may have interconnected chargers in neighborhoods so that you can actually go and exchange your stored power with the neighbor's electrical charger. So in other words, if I'm coming to my house, okay, I may have not loaded my battery yet, so I may have deep trouble on charging my electrical vehicle. The grid price at that specific moment, so it gives me a very expensive price to charge. So I'm going to my friend Thomas on the opposite side, and I'm charging my electric vehicle using his own charger. Everything will be transparent. My Visa, my credit card will actually be charged on Thomas' account. He will make money. I will get power. I will get energy on a very much discounted price. This is called Uberization. The same thing, we were part of a recent project that was an amazing project. Where actually in the Greek islands, Mykonos, Paros, there are many, many tourists every summer. So imagine that instead of getting rental, you rent a car, a normal car, you rent an electrical vehicle. So there are specific parkings close to the port. The tourists go every day. They go to make a walk in the village. They make a walk and buy stuff. They plug in their electric vehicles on specific spots on the island. A new boat comes with new tourists. The boat has a mobile battery. As the boat enters into the port, there is a huge plug that gets the power from the parked rental cars. The battery is loaded in the ship, and the ship goes from Mykonos to Paros and transfers, apart from tourist, energy. So you see that there are great ideas, and these ideas are not far away. Okay? So storage, batteries will become Uberized, and in the near recent future, we will be able to sell energy, we will be able to become, to have transactions. This is called transactive energy, and above all, through blockchain, we will be able to track these transactions. This is really huge. So we end up, actually, this is called the smart grid. It is a live grid, volatile grid, that we can share energy based on, of course, on profits. This is a huge grid that we can plug in our cars. We can get energy from anybody, either from our neighbors, either from our company that we work for, or from the grid. We can exchange it, we can share it, we can store it. So actually, we make money on the energy. And bear in mind that energy, it is a global asset. It is an asset that we will be using for the rest of our lives. We need energy to survive. So it is an asset that you have to very, very thoroughly manipulate and use. So some points before finishing, and these points actually will shape the future of the energy market. Storage. You will be able to store energy in various systems. Based on storage is a huge revolution, and as prices are going down right now, Musk actually doubled the density of his storage device and reduced the cost to 50% down. And when the Chinese will enter into the game, you will be able to buy a storage device with peanuts. So storage will enter into the market. The trick here is not how to create it, it's there. The trick is how to use it on a systemic approach. So for me, storage is a big revolution, as some years ago, RAM memory changed the whole computer architecture technology. So when you enter a buffering device, when you're creating a buffering methodology on a systemic approach, architecture, everything changes. You will be able to reuse the stored energy according to you, according to your needs. You'll make money out of it. You will create storage buffers in the grid, and of course, you will enhance distributed generation. So this is why right now there's a big revolution on the solar industry, starting from US Solar City, and in Germany, Ireland, UK will start, and Cyprus. You have great sun here, guys, so there's a huge possibility and big, big opportunities here to develop a distributed generation network full of solar panels, and based on storage, you can reroute everything in the island. Energy harvesting, new ways to create or to produce energy rather than producing dirty energy from CO2 coals and everything. Humans will become small producers. You will be able to produce your own energy based on your roof solar top panels, but on the same side, as I told you, the same thing will occur also by using and following alternative technologies such as traditional energy harvesting techniques from the rivers, from the plastic tiles. Recently in Amsterdam, there is a specific technique where as the cars pass through a highway, there is a specific material that creates energy from the drift. Imagine that you will be able to harness all this energy, to harvest it and use it on the grid. buildings will become generation nodes. Big buildings, and especially interconnected buildings, where the one building will share its energy to other buildings according to the demand, according to their profile. And of course, is again human-centric energy harvesting. Some other projects include these specific tiles that I talked in the beginning to discos and the playgrounds. So there are children playing inside the playground because this produces vibrations on the soil, on the ground, so you can harness the energy and you can give, you can plug in, lights, street lights around a municipality, or even circulation lights. Mobility behaviors. You will make money out of energy transactions. You will be able to sell your energy to your neighbor. You will be able to store and negotiate energy transactions with your boss in his company, because he will be able to reduce the OPEX by buying cheaper energy from you, and you will be able to sell your stored energy, okay, to make money. So we're talking about prosumers equals entrepreneurs. You will have to adapt human behaviors, because in order to charge your energy, your storage device, in order to charge your battery, you will have to change your habits inside the house. So you'll have to switch off the laundry device, not at 5 o'clock, but probably at 8 o'clock, because the price there will be cheaper from the grid. Or you'll have to switch it, or you have to cook earlier in the afternoon, because at that specific time, the solar will have a huge peak, so you will have enough power to cook, and at the same time to load your battery, because the next day you will have to sell this energy to your boss, so you will need to have a stored battery. So imagine that the model gets a lot of complex, of course, so this is why there will be companies, there will be digital platforms, there will be algorithms orchestrating the whole thing. So you will get assistance on that, so you may have a mobile app giving you directives, cook then, do that, do this, because you will have to optimize your personal profit. So reducing the price that you're getting or producing energy, and increasing the selling profit of your stored energy. So actually you're becoming an entrepreneur. You're becoming a business. You will adopt blockchain approach, of course, in order to track energy transactions, connect physical and digital worlds. This is great in a project that we have with the utility. Actually, we have utility bills. This is a great trend. We call it digital physical integration. So how you are taking a physical asset as a kilowatt hours energy, and you connect it with a digital social media platform or to the digital world. So imagine that you have your electricity bill, you have your payment, how many kilowatt hours have you consumed, and you have a specific QR code or barcode. You scan with a specific mobile app, and by scanning this QR code, you're getting prizes, you're getting rewards. Maybe you advance on a later stage of a gamification or a serious game scenario, and you can actually redeem these prizes that you are winning by saving energy into a virtual marketplace. Okay, this is a great trend right now. And of course, exchange and share energy among peers. So if both we are at AIC, so if I save energy and if I save credits, then these credits may be credited to your own billing, to your own energy account, given the fact, of course, that we are on the same utility, because, as I told you, right now, this is completely on the virtual financial world. So it's like, sending you an SMS in order to credit your accounts with €3 to use it in order to make a phone call or something. It is exactly the same business models that the telcos have, and this will be expanded to the energy utilities. So we have the physical space around us and the energy we produce. We have time, because everything is being produced on a specific time slot. And timing on the energy domain is crucial, because I have to cook whenever I have the peak in the energy consumption and the energy production. I have to buy energy from the grid whenever the price is cheap. So timing, it's crucial. I have to synchronize everything. And how do I do that? By, of course, connecting the digital to the physical space. Yes, and ultimately, these dimensions can interact by having a digital platform, and based on that digital platform, you can monitor energy consumption, you can monitor energy production, you can monitor human behaviors, and then you can redeem prizes, and you can create a rewarding scheme so that you pass this information into a digital marketplace, into a digital social net, and then the people start interacting with each other. A very simple example, it is 1 or 2 years ago, we had the project with Siemens, where they wanted to create a live game such as SimCity in Facebook. So they took energy producers from all around Europe. They're having solar panels in the rooftops. They connected the generation into Facebook. So I could see through a Facebook page your kilowatt hours produced in specific moments. And they put these players competing each other in terms of a game. And who was actually the community that will produce, let's say, the biggest energy and the specific time slots. So this is one example on how we can create a link in between the physical asset, which is energy, and a digital asset, which can be a marketplace, or it could be a social network, or even a Twitter or Facebook account. So last slide before I finish, some futurology thoughts about the future of energy, and a sum up of what I discussed today. Digital physical link to use virtual energy credits. Yes, we are able to link physical assets, energy, with digital assets, virtual coins, rewards, marketplaces. Energy harvesting and micro-storage will evolve a lot. Micro-storage, actually, it is, instead of having a central battery in the house, your kitchen will have its own small battery, and your kitchen in the near future, will have the ability to store energy locally and interact with the grid so that nobody will sense nothing. All you have to do is adapt it, and having an algorithm, not you of course, the company that will sell that, having an algorithm synchronizing all the devices in your house. So actually your kitchen will be able to save energy according to your own profile. Yeah, that is cool, teleportation of energy. Tesla did it. There are some projects in the States that they can charge cell phones from a specific distance from the battery. If this goes beyond our imagination, I will sense that in the next 5 to 10 years, we may have, and we maybe have, some technological advances where two batteries will start charging and discharging or sending energy to each other on a specific distance. This will be reality. There are already projects about that, okay? So maybe in a small neighborhood, maybe we may have teleportation of energy in between batteries and prosumers. The Uberization and sharing economy will disrupt, of course, utilities. Utilities, we want this, maybe not. There is a big disruption right now in the utility space because utilities are old-fashioned, guys. Utilities is an old-fashioned market, and right now there is a big digitization trend inside them. So the Uberization of energy will create a big disruption to them, and they will have to follow. So utilities may want communities of people to exchange energy, and utilities may want many electric vehicles in the grid to walk around or to travel around. This is a big disruption, Uberization. Of course, buildings will become cash cows for consumers. As I told you, you will be able to get money, to make money out of the energy. This is good, this is cool. And of course, there's a big sector coming up, AI, artificial intelligence. So when we have this specific problem, where we have a very complex system, where we have many moving parts on the business models, when we have many data walking around, running around us, and we cannot cope with that, then artificial intelligence will enter. Meaning that we're going to have agents, we're going to have assistants, maybe Google, maybe other energy assistants, that will be able and will be on the top of our houses, orchestrating the battery, orchestrating the selling or the buying from a grid, tells us where to do and where to charge our EV based on the spot pricing around our neighborhood. So there will be external agents, there will be external products and platforms that will guide us to become more proactive, and of course, on the same level, they will guide us how to make more profit out of the energy consumption and production. So this is the new human prosumer. Actually, it's a Homo prosumis. This is a notion that is being used right now for everybody. Okay, this is it from me. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Very nice ideas. I'm coming from the renewable sector, from the research part of it. In Cyprus, we've seen a tremendous change in this sector in the last years. Actually, we are doubling our installed capacity of photovoltaics every year. And that was made possible out of new policies, new market policies that came in, PV net metering, self-consumption, etc. The big issue we see with these new technologies is that it disrupts the security of supply, the security of demand throughout the grid. The grid is vulnerable and it creates a lot of problems. So we see that the smart grid is the future. Smart grid will enable all the things you said. However, the big problem is that enabling the smart grid requires a lot of investments, billions in investments, even for the small size of Cyprus. And a lot of regulations, new market rules. SERA, the Cyprus Energy Regulatory Authority, is currently working on them. It's been a lot of years. How do you see who has the power to enable all these changes, and how long will it take? Yeah. That's a big question, because we are discussing it, but we don't see actual implementation.
Very good points. For me, there are two actually main dark points, let's say, on the smart grid evolution. It's cybersecurity. Recently, we had, you read about the cyber attack 2 months ago, I think 1 month ago, that there was some guys that used even IP cameras from highways as bots to actually unleash the denial of service attack. So IoT, sensors, smart meters are a big trouble in terms of cybersecurity. So for me, yes, cybersecurity and general security is a big problem. Actually, big discussion because, of course, ways will be found, but we have to pay a lot of attention on that because as we have web devices, IoT or IP-enabled devices everywhere, these devices are vulnerable to attacks, and of course, they can be used to initiate attacks to other people, definitely. And the second big thing is regulation. Actually, I was the last week I was in Barcelona. It was one of the biggest exhibitions, the European Utility Week, and I was in a panel with regulators. Okay, regulators, it's a big history. One of the drawbacks of this market is that it's highly regulated. That means that there are countries that will be helped by the regulators to evolve. Germany, UK, Ireland, Central Europe, and there are other countries, Greece included, of course, that the regulation is not helping the market, which is bad. I think that the regulators, they often say that we are trying to protect the customer, but actually they protect the system. So I think that in this market, especially in this market, the innovation and the avalanche effect of the innovation will come from the people, from the home consumers. Because if suddenly, in a specific market, almost everybody has IoT devices or has smart home automation systems or even has storage, because storage right now it's still expensive, so you need specific government subsidized programs to install. However, in the next years, storage will become cheap. Suddenly, utilities will face a huge revolution, and they will push also on their turn the regulators to change things. Sorry. So I think that we have to take advantage of this and we have to see how many countries there will be evolved. Sorry, that water. Anyway. No, I have my water here. Yeah. So there are countries that are far ahead on the regulation side. So we have to wait. I mean, you have to bear in mind that regulators, they have to commit, they have to regulate. Without them, they can very possibly block. I mean, in Spain, they have blocked renewables. This is crazy. Okay? They may block storage. In Phoenix, Arizona, the regulator pushed users to that they had storage when they commit to the grid, when they sell to the grid, to pay a fee for the grid. So this actually transaction was not profitable for them. Regulators can ruin things, unfortunately.
In Cyprus also we pay the grid. The PV
Yeah. Yeah,
For
yeah.
each kilowatt hour
Yeah.
that it produces.
Yeah.
So that goes to the grid.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately, regulators are the ones who make the rules. And they are from the government side, they're old guys, they're old-fashioned guys. Unfortunately, we have to push them, or actually will be pushed to change things, but on their own timing. But it's good points, I mean.
Okay, due to our timing as well, we need to...
One last question, I think. Yeah.
Would you like to have a last question? Okay.
Vassilis, one word about solar coin.
One word about solar?
Solar coin. Solar coin is, as far as I know, a digital currency that uses the underlying, which is obviously kilowatts. What is your views on something like that as going forward in the evolution, basically the integration of one asset, which is energy, and the other asset, which is
Fintech. Fintech. Yeah. Another good point, I will be very, very brief. One customer that we had, utility, they asked from us, because we have a huge digital platform doing many things of the things I've described, they asked from us fintech services. And this is the first step to connect the kilowatt hours with a virtual coin system. Could be Bitcoin, and at the back you can have blockchain to track the transactions. For me, this is the future. Okay? Why? Because solar produces energy through the solar panel, and this is a physical asset, as I told you. It is a physical asset that you will have to use for the rest of your life. And this is a physical asset that you will have to use to live and survive, and of course to power up your home devices. So by connecting this physical asset with a virtual coin or a Bitcoin or a solar coin, okay, it is feasible. Blockchain has eased that right now. However, you have at this specific moment to be able, or you have in order to make the transaction, to have the same utility as provider for financial engineering. But this is feasible.
Okay, thank you very much. A round of applause.
Cheers. Thank you.